Hey guys, hope you're doing absolutely fantastic today. In this video, I'm going to show you the 4 steps that we use with any high ticket sales call funnel to dramatically increase our show up rate. If you're new to this channel, my name is Michael. On this channel, we talk about advanced strategies and systems for high ticket sales within the info product industry, consultant industry, and just a high ticket industry in general, agency owners, stuff like that. So if you are already a subscriber at this channel, welcome back. It's nice to have you here. We're going to waste no time and jump straight into it. So the 4 steps that we use to dramatically increase show up rates for our high ticket sales calls are the appointment setter SOPs, standard operating procedures, if you're new to the term, closer SOPs, emails, and ads that trigger when someone has booked a call. So the first thing we're going to go over is the setter SOPs and then the closer SOPs. So for the sales team, whether or not you're running an opt-in page or not, the appointment setters should call all leads, applications, and people who have booked themselves into sales calls within 1 hour of submission. Every single hour, even every single minute that your sales team is not following up with your leads, you are losing money by the minute, literally. So what they do is they call them and they qualify them. I'm not going to go over how they do this because they should know how to do it. I'm probably going to make another video and give you a script later on. But for now, they need to call and qualify all bookings to make sure that every single person on the closer's calendar has money to pay for the whatever you're selling and is qualified and also willing to purchase within your desired timeline. So that's it for the setter. For the closer, they have a little bit more work. So we run an SMS sequence. By the way, for all the SMSs that the setters and closers are sending, they should be, a blue text, iPhone iMessage text. They should not be a green text because response rates for both, SMS and when you're calling from an actual phone number is way higher when you're calling from, an actual phone number or you send a blue text because it seems like an actual person, right? So the closers, they always send a text the night before they call. They say, hey, Michael, this is X. I just want to make sure you have the link to our Google Meet tomorrow at 12 p.m. Can you respond to this text so I know you have the link? Okay, so that's just a checkup. And then whatever they respond, or if they don't respond, you don't respond back until the next morning. Okay, so if they do respond within, let's say, 5 minutes, you still wait till the next morning so they get another reminder the day of the conversation because people have so much stuff going on and they need reminders continuously before your sales calls. So you wait until the morning of the call. If they say yes, awesome, looking forward to speaking to you at 12 o'clock. I found it interesting, and then you just tell them something that they mentioned in the application or in the booking form. If they answer no, you say, no problem, I just sent you an email, can you check if you got it? And then you send them an email with another invite, okay? And if they don't respond, you just reply with a question mark the morning of the call, okay? What we also have all the closers do is send a selfie video the morning of the call. That video is just basically to get them hyped up, set expectations, and to create a personal bond or a personal dialogue between the salesperson and between the prospect, because people don't like being sold to. They like to have real conversations, real authentic conversations with real humans. Okay, your salespeople shouldn't even call themselves salespeople when they're communicating with your leads. So they send a selfie video and they just said, hey, Mark, I'm really looking forward to our conversation today. One thing that stood out to me is XYZ based on the information you already provided to us. I will do my best to see if we can find a solution to this problem. But whether or not we do decide to move forward, I'm really looking forward to the conversation, and I know it'll be of value to you, something like that, okay? It will take 1 minute per call that day to create. You just create one video per call that the closer has that day. And if you do these things alone, it's going to dramatically increase your show-up rates. The second thing we do is we send everyone who applies, everyone who books themselves in, because in our application and booking process, the booking actually happens a part of the application. So I have another video on our setup on that. It's called the Typeform and the Calendly setup or integration that dramatically increases our self-booking rates. So if you haven't watched that, make sure to go to the channel and have a look at that. That alone will dramatically increase your self-books. We had on one offer, we increased our self-books by 41% just by implementing that change. So make sure you watch that video. Anyways, when they apply, and they also book a call in the process, because the call is just a part of the application, we send them a series of emails. So we send them emails, every 4 hours for 3 days. You might think that is a lot, but the thing is, when someone has, clicked on your ad, watched your VSL and applied and then booked a call, they want to hear from you. They want to learn more. So we actually have proof of this right here, because you see the open rates on these emails are extremely high. They're around 40%. So even though we send them every single 4 hours, they're extremely informative. They are handling the biggest questions, the biggest objections. They are providing FAQ sheets, SOP procedures, just to give value. They are going over case studies, people who are similar to them, who has achieved similar or XYZ results. And this really warms them up and bring them further down the sales process before the calls even happen, okay? Because we don't want our sales guys to be educators. We don't want them to needing to explain everything, how the process works, answer all the objections, show case studies. We don't want them to do all of that work. We want our salespeople to act as cashiers instead. So as you see on these emails, 39% open rate, 40%, 38%, 38%, 38%, 37%, 36%, 34%, 34%, 38%. Like, even though they get all these emails incredibly quickly, the open rates are around 40%. And that's pretty good open rates on an automation that runs automatically with an email every 4 hours. Okay, so make sure you implement this to every single person who books a call with you. Okay, the fourth thing that we do is we set up basically a propaganda machine via Ads Manager. Okay, so shout out to Jeremy Haynes for the strategy. He calls it the hammer them strategy. And basically what this does is, when in your email autoresponder, for example, if you use ActiveCampaign for emails, okay, we use MailChimp, but it's the same thing. You have an integrated step in ActiveCampaign, for example, where you can, if someone books a call, they enter the automation. The first step can be add to custom audience. Okay, so you go into Facebook, you create a custom audience called Propaganda Machine, for example, and every single person who books a call is added into that audience. Okay, and then at the end of the sequence, you add a delay, let's say 6 days. Or let's say your custom audience is added on day 1. They receive an email every 4 hours for 3 days. Maybe you want to add like 4 days a delay, and then another step where you remove them from the custom audience. And everyone in this custom audience, this is, by the way, I'm going to go through the campaign setup for this campaign. It's an engagement campaign, and then we have one ad set for each ad. Right here we have 44 ads, I think. And the targeting on this is video views, and we optimize for maximize through play views. Okay, and then all of these target that custom audience we call it the propaganda machine. And inside every single ad set, we exclude everyone who has watched 3 seconds of the video in this ad set. What that means, or what that does, is that if someone watches one of these ads 3 seconds or more, they're going to be excluded from watching that ad again. What that does is it pushes people through as many of them as possible. So if we didn't do that, a lot of people would see the same ad multiple times, and we don't want that. We want them to see as many ads as possible. So that's why we create a custom audience for each and every one of these. So in this example, I would have to create 44 custom audiences in addition to the propaganda machine audience, and then go into custom audience, you click videos, and you select each and every video. So you create one custom audience for each and every video. So in total here, like 45 custom audiences plus this one, and then you exclude everyone who's seen 3 seconds or more of the video in this ad set. Okay, and these are just organic videos. They are case studies, they answer objections, they are informative, etc. And the goal here is to get an extremely high frequency. So over the lifetime of this campaign, it doesn't spend a lot of money because the CPMs on this is pretty cheap, or I guess relatively cheap for the US, but $48. But the frequency here you see is 31. So on average, every single person in this audience sees 31 of these videos, right? Have a 31 frequency. So what that does is once someone books a call, they will get personal follow-ups. First of all, they will get qualified to make sure that the booking is actually an actual candidate, and then they would have a personal dialogue with personalized selfie videos and a reminder text from the closer. They will get a bunch of informative emails that answers all their objections. And number 4, they will actually see 31 of these ads that are just organic. It doesn't have any call to action. It doesn't have anything. It's just there to inform and educate and answer objections, etc. Build trust. So before the sales calls, they've gone through all of these things, right? In addition to this fourth thing, I'm not going to go through this in this video. They have a bunch of informative videos, a lot of these ones actually, on the thank you page after they book a call. But the call confirmation page is another video that I'm going to create, so stay tuned for that video. That's also extremely important to master. So here you have it, the 4 strategies. By the way, if you haven't watched my 7-figure call funnel blueprint yet, I'm linking it I'm going to make it pop up. You're also going to see it in the end screen of this video. That is going to take you through the entire blueprint of all the funnels we set up for our 7-figure clients, all the call funnels. I'm also going to make a video on a webinar funnel soon as well. So make sure you watch that video if you haven't already. So stay tuned. Have an amazing rest of your day. We will talk soon. Peace.